Welcome back to Athena's Listening Crew. I'm Lena.
And I'm Renee.
This is where we celebrate the vision, resilience, and creativity of women entrepreneurs who are shaping their communities in powerful ways. And today, we are spotlighting a woman whose work is bringing people together, one thoughtfully crafted dish at a time and one cookbook at a time. Our guest is Chef Alejandre Richards, known as Chef Alex, the owner and creative force behind the Thai Kitchen, a private chef service known for its intimate, thoughtfully curated, and dining experiences. She also wrote and published 9 cookbooks and is the founder of the community garden here in Tucson, Arizona. Rather than a traditional restaurant, Chef Alex brings her cuisine directly to the community, hosting pop-up dinners in her community garden and crafting personalized meals that turn everyday spaces into unforgettable gatherings. It's a model rooted in creativity, flexibility, and a deep commitment to bringing people together in meaningful ways.
As a woman entrepreneur, she's not only building a business outside the conventional mold, she's cultivating experiences that celebrate connection, sustainability, and shared stories around the table. In today's conversation, we'll explore how she built the Thai Kitchen, what inspired her unique approach to dining, and what it takes to create something so personal in a fast-paced industry. This is more than a story about entrepreneurship. It's about purpose, persistence, and the power of creating something meaningful. Reach out to us at athenaslisteningcrew@gmail.com or message us via IG if there are any topics you'd like us to explore, or if you're a woman business owner interested in joining the podcast to share your journey with us. We hope you enjoy this episode because, yes, she did that.
She did that. Well, welcome to Athena's Listening Crew, and we want to welcome here Miss Chef Alex Alejandre Richards to our episode this week. Welcome, Chef Alex.
Hey, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
So excited. Yes, good morning. So excited to have you on. We've been looking forward to this.
Yeah. I hope I got goosebumps.
I hope I do you proud.
You will. Oh, you will. You will. I'm pretty sure.
You will. So what first question is going to be just sharing us like where you came from, just a little bit about your background.
Yeah, for sure. So I live in Arizona now, but I'm originally from New York. I am a first generation American. My parents are from the island republic of Barbados, which is in the Caribbean. And I've been a lot of places in my life, but I'm happy to be here as chef. One of my many, many, many hats. But that's my most recent hat. Maybe 6-7 years now that we've been doing this project.
Yeah, and I know it says that I actually had a question: is what brought you to Arizona from New York? Because I'm always curious of why people move to Arizona. Because I'm like, why you would? I'm like, why?
I followed a fool and subsequently left that fool shortly after. But I know it sounds cliche to say that everything that happens for a reason. But I'm here, and I'm happy that I came here. I wouldn't change anything because I met my current wife here, and yeah, I'm excited about that too.
You're not the first one that I've heard it was because of a relationship following somebody down here, and they wind up leaving them, but then they wind up staying, and so
yeah,
and they meet other people.
Nice.
Yes.
I've also read that you started out in marketing.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
have your own marketing?
Yeah, I own my own marketing company, Matrix Media Consulting Group. I worked in radio and television, Clear Channel in the Orlando market, and one of the things that happened and how I started my marketing business is that every boss has a boss, right? And sometimes, your boss will do things that peeve you, and you sit and you ruminate in it. Well, I'm not one of those people. So my boss used to, we used to be at work and my boss used to be on the golf course, or I used to be at work and my boss would be out walking his dog. And I'm like, hell, I want to go play golf, or I want to go walk the dog that I don't have, but nonetheless, um, what was the defining factor was one day, I had worked on this project for one of my clients for quite some time, man, 2 3 weeks now, and he walked in and stuck his name on it and went on about his business. And so what made me realize how valuable I was in the moment was the client called and asked me why I wasn't at the meeting, and I'm like, my boss is there. What do you need me for? He's like, you don't understand. We're not going to do this meeting without you. You're the person that we. And so knowing that, I got up at that moment and I went to the meeting. The meeting was 25 minutes away. I swear to God, I made it in 15 minutes. We did the meeting, secured the client. I came back, literally packed up every single thing I had in that moment, took my client list, my calendar, and left.
Mm.
And as I'm driving home, I'm like, oh shit, like what did I just do? Like, oh my goodness. Yeah, there's nothing else going on right now. But I'm just not gonna do this. And so what I did is I had this harebrained idea. I played soccer from the time I could stand up, basically, and I decided as I was driving home in a harebrained moment that I wanted to own a soccer team. And so what I did is I called all my clients and I said, hey, look, I want to own a soccer team. They're like, you have a plan? I'm like, no, but I will this afternoon. And literally, I was my first client. All my clients that were with me sponsored my first team, and I became my own marketing person, and I was my first client.
Wow.
Oh my God. Talk
Yeah.
about a harebrained movement right there. That was totally awesome. Okay, so who was the soccer team?
The Orlando Falcons.
Okay.
And so we ended up with three teams. Orlando Falcons women's, Orlando, and they played in the WPSL.
Uh-huh.
They had the Orlando Falcons men's, and they played in the SL. And we went to Thomasville and started the women's team for the WPSL, and then Georgia bought it, and it became the South Georgia Jackets.
Oh my God. Wow.
Wow.
That-
I'm sorry. I'm just kind of a little bit floored.
Listen, I told you when I met you that if I want to do something, I don't ask anybody permission. I don't ask any questions. I just go on and do it. So,
So,
like I said, I told my clients that I wanted a sponsorship and I didn't have a plan, but by the end of the day, I did.
so what was that like moving from like a W-2 job to be like, hey, I've got my own business now. This is how I'm going to set it up.
A
How was that transition?
whirlwind,
Yeah.
a whirlwind. Picture the Tasmanian devil swirling.
Yep.
But
But what I hear you say, though, that seemed to kind of give you the jet fuel to go in that direction is that you found out how valuable you are.
absolutely. When we as women are working, that's what we do. We go to work and we do just that. We work and
Hmm.
we are the best worker bees they are anywhere. If they tell us that we have to move this pencil from the left to the right of the desk, and that's our one job all day long, we become the best pencil movers they are. We learn about the pencil, we learn about how the pencil works, we learn about the desk. We learn about the dynamics of the desk. We learn everything there is about that one moving part. Here's the thing. We are so busy with ourselves, telling ourselves that that's what we're meant to be, that we don't allow ourselves to be anything else. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Yes.
Totally makes
So,
sense.
To be the
so
pencil maker, not just move
yes,
the pencil.
Mover.
exactly. So when somebody told me how important I was in the scheme of things, that nobody was going to move without me, that jolted me. Like, why am I going back to these people who are annoying me every day? And I changed that. And the only person who could change that was me.
Change maker. So it took you to like just go ahead and ask your clients. You took what was yours, you took it with you and you just went ahead and asked. Is that how it then just propelled from there? It just moved.
Yeah, it just kind of, like went from one thing to, in my space and in my head. The one thing I always say is if you don't ask, the answer is always no. Always
Mm.
no. And for me, in that moment, the worst that could happen is that they told me that I was crazy and told me get off the phone. And not once for a moment did I ever think that. I was just like, this is what I want to do. This is who I'm going to ask. And with or without them, I'm going to do this. And so I went from, okay, I was working for one person one day. And a week later, I had a full-fledged team of college players from across the country. I had paperwork. I had everything going, and I had a full season within months. Whirlwind.
Wow.
Wow.
Talk about getting things done.
I know.
Well, it seems easy enough, but you know, it was easy for me because I had the people around me that could do things. Um, we should never think that we're the end all and be all of all things. If
Hmm.
even if you're good at something, you find the people who not only are good but are the best at what they do, and let them do what they do. You can orchestrate. You don't
Hmm.
have to be doing everything yourself. There's no need for it. You find people who can talk to those people who have the money and bring it in. I just knew who they were. You can talk to the people who you can put in your space that you can trust with your money. The people who can get the stadium, the people who can talk to the players, the people who can, it's just you find those people. I just knew who they were. I just like, okay, well, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. And everybody was just like, what do you need me to do? It isn't always that easy because everybody can't think quickly, off the cuff. But if when you get up every day and you write down what you want to do, and it doesn't even have to make sense when you write it down, just write it down and you can put it together later. If you want to own a business, that's great. Just write the idea at the top of the page, whatever that business is going to be. I want to be a gardener. Okay, I want to be a gardener. Okay, you put gardener at the top. And everything you think you might need to be a gardener, you just write it across the page. It doesn't even have to make sense. And then you write down who are the people that you need to do to make you the best gardener, because you need to learn stuff as you go along as well. You
Hmm.
might have that idea, but you need to learn things as you go along. So you write down the people who you might think have the knowledge to help you where you need to go. And trust me, one person might know five or six people on that list, so you might not even have to go looking for all those people. And this applies to any business that you want to do. It doesn't have to make sense when you start to write it. It just has to make sense to you.
Very good advice. I'm annotating
Well, my
it.
first thought was that's another is it consumer. No, that's not the word I was thinking. What is the word? I just brain farted the word. But another person for team couture. Like we've talked
Yeah.
about how Lena,
We,
when in the
we
Air
were
Force,
talking
was putting
about
the
designing our own teams.
team, and
And
you
it's
Yeah.
just
and it's
defined it.
yeah, like what
Yeah,
is that?
yeah. Just write it down. Like I said, it doesn't have to make sense to anybody else outside your room. It just
Hmm.
needs to make sense to you. And then later when you've got all your pages and all that jumble that nobody understands but you, then you can work it out. And don't wait until you work it out to jump either. Just jump.
Like
It
you
doesn't
did.
have to be perfect. No, you know what? It doesn't
You're
have to be
living proof.
perfect. If you wait until it's perfect, you just be sitting here thinking about it all year long, just thinking and thinking and thinking. Just jump.
Yeah. And yeah, it's really important to have that team behind you and to make it happen. Um,
Yeah,
what how did you shift from now you just unveiled another thing. So marketing, soccer team, how did
yeah.
you shift from all the way to now the Thai kitchen?
So once I moved to Arizona, and that phase threw me for a loop and whatever else. I had to get back on my feet, and I got back into marketing, and marketing was going good. Um, Pretty much, I can say I put myself in a space where who I didn't know knew me or knew of me. When you
Mm,
say my name, people know who I am. And that's not an easy thing either, because not only do they need to know you, they need to know that they can trust you.
mhm.
So my wife, when the pandemic rolled around, my wife, she was a Zumba instructor for seniors. And they love her, absolutely love her. And one thing about us is that we're together all the time. When
Hmm.
when she's working, I drag her stuff. When I'm working, she drags my stuff. It's just who we are. Not everybody can be like that either, you know.
Hmm.
But anyway, yeah, she was a Zumba instructor for seniors, and we had to figure out a way to stay in their lives. And nobody was marketing anything at the time. Like I told you, the CDC was talking about COVID, 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 COVID. Everybody was staying home. Nobody was doing anything. Companies were just shutting down. So we decided that food would be the thing. I mean, everybody had to eat. Everybody had to eat. And I had already started working on my books and stuff. So what we would do is we would, drive over to their houses and, knock on the door, leave food at the door, wave at them from afar and stuff, just to give them that human feeling and stuff, because loneliness is just as much a pandemic as the pandemic itself.
Hmm.
So we just kept doing that. And then other people would see us post about dropping off this food, and they were like, well, where's my food? I'm like, but the food is not for you, it's for the seniors. Well, I'm senior. I'm like, no, you're not. But anyway, they started asking for the food and stuff. So people would just literally come, and we would put the food outside our door, and they would pick it up from it in a cooler. And then that became a thing. It became bigger than us. Uh, after the
Wow.
pandemic, after the pandemic was over, we continued to go to the seniors' houses. We would read to them, and we would sit with them. We would watch TV with them. Sometimes even fall asleep on their couch, because sometimes they don't really want to talk to you. They just want the company, feeling the,
Yeah.
I guess, the aroundness of you would be the way to put it.
Hmm.
And everybody just, are you going to continue to do this? Are you going to continue to do this? Are you going to continue to do this? And 7 years later, 9 cookbooks later, here we are. We don't do any outbound marketing at all. No website, no nothing. Everything is very personal. We talk to people. If we don't feel your aura, we won't cook for you. As simple as that. The idea is to go back to the community, the idea of community where you actually knew who your neighbor was, where you could go ask your neighbor for sugar, flour, those kind of things, check on each other just for the sake of checking on each other. And that's how we operate our business.
Such a very beautiful thing because I remember the pandemic, and that's what I felt like. Well, what came out of that, it was a horrible time, but I saw people coming out more, like for walks, just to kind of like in my own little neighborhood. And for a minute, I was like, "Oh, we're going through this together, and we're saying hi to each other now, like we're
Yes,
seeing each other." And
yes,
I think that was the little bit of sadness after the pandemic was over, was everybody went back into their, back into
yes,
their lives and stuff. And
yes.
that's there were less walkers out and stuff. But what a phenomenal thing you did is to go out and especially the senior citizens, because I know there was a lot. The reconnection, it seems like you just connected. They just even just
Yeah,
sitting in the room with them, was that just
yeah.
feeling
The
connected.
idea. Yeah, the idea, if you think about it, we could never do anything that we do today if it weren't for them going through all the things that they went through to
Hmm.
get here. So why would we not want to hold them and guide them and tell them that they're loved and listen to their stories? And we also did a thing where we created literally our backyard is about 1,440 square feet, and we created a garden space where they come and they sit in the garden anytime they feel that they need to hair water run or whatever. They come and they pick the vegetables and stuff. There's no charge for it or anything. They just harvest it and go. Sometimes we go out there with them, sometimes we don't. But they have literally free reign to our house.
That's
Oh,
nice. Yeah, and I remember talking to you about the garden. So tell us a little bit more about this
yeah.
community garden. Like I know it just transitioned and morphed to what it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
today, but
yeah.
But how did it start out?
That was another harebrained idea. I went to my followers online and say, hey, so I've got this harebrained idea, as I always do. I want to build a garden for my seniors and for anybody who needs a place to be peaceful to come. And they said, okay, and collected $5,000. And we started the garden. We started by bringing home seeds from the store and just throwing them there, survival of the fittest. So the people, so the people online who follow me, they collected money in a GoFundMe and we raised about $5,000 and we started the garden. And every turnover season, like spring and summer and fall and winter, they send seeds. They send sometimes we come home and there are plants at the house. They send soil, they send fertilizer, whatever. Sometimes they come and they work in the garden, but it's the people's garden. It's not my garden. I just happen to live here.
Keeper of the garden.
Yep, that's it.
Yes.
We have birds and stuff that come. They come and
What
they
do you
take pictures.
grow?
Oh, right now,
I'm
so
always
we're going.
curious. This is a desert environment, so what do you
Yeah,
grow?
yeah, yeah. So right now I have we're going into the turnover season for from spring to quick summer because we kind of just skipped spring. We have four different types of kale right now. We still have some lettuce going. We have sweet potatoes. We have regular Idaho potatoes. We have about 12, 13 varieties of peppers. We have a whole bunch of uh, tomatoes. We have collard greens. We have spinach. We have, believe it or not, sugar cane.
What?
We have a fig tree. We have everything out there. We have onions, scallions, you name it, we have it. And I try to grow like a lot of unusual stuff as well so that I can get them into trying new things rather than just the
Hmm.
same old over and over. But yeah, lemongrass, herbs and stuff that we dehydrate and turn into spices, chard, you name it, we have it.
So
You
you've got a
do
fig tree.
create.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you've got some trees. Do you have citrus trees?
We don't have citrus trees, but we have plenty of people in our community who will bring citrus to
Okay.
us
Because
when
I
they're
grew
on.
up with citrus trees here, and I'm like,
Yeah,
that's almost a given in Arizona is citrus
yeah.
trees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
We
heard
have
that's how one of the things that started this state was citrus.
Yeah, we have one small Meyer dwarf Meyer lemon tree, but a lot of our people they have lemons and limes and grapefruits and oranges and stuff, and they'll bring it and drop it off to us.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
You do create unique flavorings because you and I was really grateful that grapefruit jam, all the rest of my jams been putting it to like on the side. I've been putting I take cracker and that grapefruit jam and I'll put like a piece of hard cheese, one of the cheeses I like manchego or something. And
Yeah.
I was just like eating it up. So I don't know
Yes,
if you heard
yes.
me enough, but I've never had grapefruit jam before, and
Yeah,
it's
we
really
do a
good.
lot of unusual stuff. I mean, like seriously, like even in growing, we grow all the heirlooms and stuff that people would never like naturally grow in
Hmm.
Tucson. It takes a little bit of babysitting sometimes, but um, when you're done with it, and there's this like this feeling of gratification that like I did that.
Definitely. Nice.
It seems
So,
like your love language is like food and feeding and
Yes. Well, you know what? My mom was a minister and a missionary, so that part of
Mm.
me comes from her. Like I said, I've done a lot of things in my life, but in doing those things, um, for a long time, I didn't know who I was or where I was meant to be or what I was meant to do. And taking care of people have brought me to that place. Now it's not even about money. Money comes and goes.
mm,
It's a thing that helps you buy things or create things, but it comes and goes. The people and the stories and the hugs and the smiles that you bring to people, nothing can replace that. Nothing.
so is with starting up of the garden, the community garden, did that trigger the oh my God, I just lost my train of thought. The cooking and the.
Yeah, it actually did it. Like I said, I had already started working on my first cookbook, which was dedicated to my mom, and But doing that and being involved in other people's lives and making things about more than just you and who you are, realizing that there's more to life than just you and getting money and paying for things and buying things. And it's a whole different feeling. It's a completely different
Yeah.
feeling knowing that you made a difference in somebody's life today in this moment, even if it was just to make them smile, because you don't know what it was that they were going through the moment before they saw you.
Hmm.
And I think that if we kind of looked at life and our businesses like that, we would actually do better.
Mm.
I think that for me in my business, I always say that if I take care of my community will take care of me. Um, like I said, we don't do any outbound marketing at all, period. Um, Everything I do, and I stay busy, is about my community telling people Alex is the person that you need to go to.
Hmm.
So it's a lot of it is word of mouth, like because of their experience with you and they're passing it
Correct,
on. So do they
correct.
contact you direct? Like, what do you do? And I think we read you are a private chef in a
Yes,
catering
Yeah, the
yes.
business.
catering is where I was kind of going with that. Like, how did the garden help you? Sorry, I know I just totally cut you off, Lena, but did the gardening help you start the catering business, or because you had the cookbooks started a while
Yeah,
ago, did that
yeah.
trigger, like, what was the order? Because I know you do catering and you also do, I
Private
saw that,
private chefing, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
stuff in your own place where you come and you cook a full course meal. I
Yes,
remember you
yes, yes.
discussing that.
So, so we wanted to use the garden for more than just, the food experience. We wanted to give people a full on experience as, because usually when you say private chef, people think, rich people, they think money. When you say I want to go to the garden to have an experience, people think about rich people. They think about money. Idea is to let you know that everyday people can have richness and fulfillment in their life from the simple things without having
Mhm.
to spend a lot of money. So what we do is we take people from different walks of life and we put them together. They don't know each other before they get there, and they don't know what they're going to get or from which part of the world they're going to get it from. So the idea is to, like I said, not only to marry people together from different walks of life, but also to teach people about different cultures. And the easiest way and the best way to teach people about different cultures is through food and conversation. That you're learning more about people than there is in a history book, because that person has lived that life. That food has lived a fullness and gone from one full circle through history in a culture.
Yeah, that's so it's so needed. I know when I moved, I can only just speak from my personal experience, but I mean, my own family, we're a multiracial family, just between me and my husband and our children. And, I'm also retired, like I was in the Air Force. And
Mm-hmm.
so military, there is a lot of diversity. And when we came out of that bubble, that's one of the first things we really missed was we landed and we're like, where do we find people that look like us, that are
Right,
hodgepodgey like us?
right, right.
um, and I think that's such a beautiful thing that you created in your business to offer that. That's
Yeah.
not commonly, kind of have to seek those out. And
Yeah, well, what
that's
we want to
really,
do is to, yeah, create a space where people are comfortable, and it
yeah,
doesn't necessarily have to be about culture or color. I mean,
no,
it's about weirdness. It's about,
yeah,
it's about being different and embracing different and
yeah,
being, and it's okay to be different.
right,
Like you can't find that everywhere.
Yeah.
We've grown in a world where we've learned to label everything.
yeah,
This person does this and this person does this and this person, let's say, when we talk about autistic people, are like, well, we don't want to be around them because they're weird and they're sensory and da, da, da. Same thing with food. There's texture and there's taste and there's color and there's all these multifaceted things about food, and everybody fits in around food. Everybody fits in around food. You don't have to make excuses. You don't, if you want to be quiet, be quiet. If you want to hum when you eat, hum when you eat. If you, you know what I mean? If you want to, yeah, that was good when you eat, nobody judges you. If you want to lick your fingers, do it. Nobody cares. It's food, so you embrace all that around food, around one table. And, there's so much laughter, and you would not believe how much laughter. And for like 2, maybe 3 hours, you just forget the world and just be you, be the person that you were meant to be.
And food is such a strong thing that brings families together, it brings communities together. It's
Yeah.
like the home cooking feels people go to they use food for so many things and it's such a
Yes,
core of our society. And that most,
yes.
I
It's
think,
a
pretty much,
basic need we all have. We all have to eat.
but
But
we've
we
added,
but we all eat so differently too, you know what I mean?
mhm.
Yeah.
And so and while my base is Caribbean food, I can cook from any part of the world. And one of the things that we ask is, what are your allergies?
Yeah.
If there's anything that you don't like, or if do you not like it because you're allergic to it, or do you not like it because you haven't had it done a certain way? So, if you're allergic to it, we'll keep it off the table. But if you're just not liking it because you hadn't, we introduce it to you in different ways, and that way you can say, "Oh, I never had that before. I never thought about doing that, that way before." And all the recipes are simple enough that when you go home, when you leave us and go home, or if you look at our cookbook and go, and you're trying to make something, you're not overwhelmed. You find it easy to get to, and it's all simple ingredients that you don't have to chase down. You can just find them at your local grocer.
You wrote 9 cookbooks, you said,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. I sure
Are
did.
they all of different
Yeah, they
like
all of different
themes?
things. Yeah, there's the Cooking with Friends series. That's a series of 4 cookbooks. The first one was Cooking with Friends. That one was dedicated to my mom, and it has everything from appetizers to cocktails. And in the middle of the book, it tells you the story of my mom and where she's from, and it has recipes from there. The second one is Bacon and Desserts Are Better with Friends. And of course, it's all desserts, not necessarily bacon, but all desserts itself. And then the third one is Summertime with Friends. And that's like healthier recipes, cool stuff that you can eat in the summer because it's really hot here, and you
Hmm.
don't want your food to be really heavy, because then you
Yeah.
want to just eat and sleep. And the fourth one in that series is Grilling with Friends, and that has everything from appetizers to desserts done on the grill. And then
Oh,
yeah,
Desserts on the
and
grill.
desserts on the
dessert,
grill.
desserts on the grill. That's
Can you
correct.
give us an example of
What's
that?
one of the desserts that you have that you're gonna put on the grill? Curious.
Grilled peaches with bourbon whipped cream.
Oh my
Oh, that sounds divine.
Amazing. Mm.
Yes, yes. And so we have who the hell stole the cookies? And that's
Oh, I
all
love the title.
that's
Okay.
that's all cookies, nothing else but cookies.
Oh wow.
We have the smoothie Bible, which has all juicing and smoothies and healthy put togethers. Um, the most recent there's one about soup. Who knows?
Yes,
Um,
I think
oh,
I found that
oh yeah,
somewhere.
it jumped out of my garden and into the soup.
Okay.
And then there's greener on the other plate, which is mostly vegetarian stuff. But if you're not vegetarian, you can still make them and add whatever protein to it, and it won't matter which protein, that'll work. And then there's around the world and recipes. So different parts of the world all in one book. So there's different things.
So how would someone find these books?
Yeah.
So right now, what we did is we used Amazon platform to get our status, our
Hmm.
bestseller status, and then we took them off, and we only sell them at our stores, which is on if you come to us on any platform, the Thai Kitchen, TIE Kitchen, you can get them from us. That way, we maximize our profits.
Oh, so
Nice. All
just
right.
contact you directly? Like,
Yes.
no? Okay. 'Cause
Okay.
you're on Facebook and
We're
Instagram.
on every
Mhm.
every platform, the Thai
Oh, ever.
Kitchen, TIE.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, everything we do is so personal. We want to know, when people buy books, they buy them and they put them on the shelf.
Hmm.
When people buy our books, they use them and post the pictures to show us that they use them.
Mm.
You can go online and get a recipe anytime, but when you're online you're looking for a specific recipe. When you flip through our books, you come across things that you would never come across usually.
I'm interested in that cookie book too. Just love the title.
Yeah, we try to be funny. I don't know that I can make a living being funny, but
Nice. Um,
Um, so
you guys are just smiling from ear to ear.
I
I'm
know,
still thinking
sorry.
about the pitch. I'm still thinking
I
about
know
the
grilled peaches with the bourbon cream. I think so sorry.
and I'm like, I know
Um,
I had another question for you. I'm like, I'm still thinking
do
about
you,
those peaches.
so is there like um these community garden events that you have where you
Hmm.
have how is that process like? Because you said it's intention, it seems like there's a lot of intention in it to have people come in that don't know each other and then have this beautiful experience. How do people go on to like, do they apply? Do they ask? Do they contact you? Do they,
Yeah, so
how is that work?
so we always announce them. We always announce them like literally 2 weeks before they happen because they go so fast. We usually have about 16 spots. And so the spots go so quickly. So we announce them on all the platforms. If you are a person that wants us to contact you when they come up, if you just email us at the Thai Kitchen at gmail.com. TIE, that is Thai, TIE, kitchen at gmail.com. Yeah, we'll email you the invite. And it's basically get there first. The idea, get there first.
First come,
Is
first
it?
served. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the story behind the TIE
So
kitchen?
when I was in my marketing field, I would wear a suit and tie to work every day. So we just continued that along the line of the brand. And when we show up to do our personal cooking and personal chefing and stuff, we always have ties on.
So like I've come from Tucson, I've come and go, and every time I'm here, I keep hearing about how Tucson is such like this huge like foodie mecca. Like and someone told me there's this term for it, I guess, but anyone who's a big foodie, they're like Tucson has all these great restaurants, all these diversity, like everything within it. And it sounds like you just fit right into that because you just have this diversity that you do this, and it's not just one thing. You've really just grown it into this beautiful like what do you even call it?
You're a local
Business.
celebrity chef. Like, I mean,
Yes.
if
Yeah,
not
it's that.
expanded outside of that, but you're pretty. I Googled you and you came up
Yeah, yeah.
almost.
So I don't pat myself on the back, but pretty much I'm more popular than some of the chefs who are like starred and stuff like that, and which I laugh about.
That's
Yeah,
amazing. That's awesome. But go
when you
ahead.
say chef, people say Alex.
You talking about the chef?
Right, exactly. Like I said, there are people who own restaurants and stuff around here who have like Michelin stars and stuff like that, and their name don't pop up as much as mine. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm a marketer by trade.
So when we first met you, you had your stall was just so full of so many products of food that you made. So
Yeah.
where do you sell that out of? Like how can people find all this amazing stuff?
Again, we're one and done. 9 times out of 10, when you find a particular product, it's in batches. Okay, because of what we grow and how we grow, depending on what the abundance is at the time, is what our products will be. So we not only do we grow, we teamed up with Felicia's Farm and we go to Borderlands. For those of you who don't know what Borderlands is a uh, rescue project that rescues food um, the landfill and stuff. So whatever it
Hmm.
is that is in abundance, whether it be at the farm or at Borderlands, is what our products are going to be. Hence why you find very unusual things like
Grapefruit
yellow
jam.
grapefruit jam, yellow pepper jam. Who does that, right? But but yeah, that's how we do that. And so we do pop-ups and stuff at different markets. We always list where we're going to be for the month. It's always going to be different. We never really go to two places in a row because that's how we create or demand for our products because people will follow us to get what we have.
That's
That's
a very
awesome.
good marketing strategy.
So
People,
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to follow up with that
I think
question
we keep
about talking to
stumbling
your
over
younger
each
son.
other because
Yes, we do.
we don't normally do this.
What I'm special, is that what it is?
We're both just
Yes.
so excited.
Yeah. You said you won't pat yourself on the back, but we're giving you a hug, like air hug.
Uh,
We're patting
that's
you
what-
for the work, beautiful work you're doing.
yeah,
Um, I was just gonna say it's a really smart strategy because people do love, especially when they find something that they love and they only it's a limited supply and you gotta find it and get it. Like people will follow you
yeah. You know,
and
like I was
find.
first met you, people will literally come to Tucson on Festival of Boats specifically to look for us. Hence why, we're in the same spot every single time, is that people who follow us that we have not met will come to see us specifically at, you know, to meet us. And when I say us, my wife and I, to because we're always talking about each other. We're always talking about what we're doing in the community, and asking for help to do, not for us, but for for the projects that we're doing. um, Last year, at the end of the year, pretty much every year at the end of the year, we feed the community on Thanksgiving and Christmas. The people who follow us, they contribute as far as food and money goes, and we literally set up a tent and we feed hundreds of people. Last year, we fed about 700 families, and we were, well, more than surprised.
Wow.
Not really because it was so many, but because it was so many. Because so
Yeah.
many things are happening. People are losing their jobs, people are losing their homes, people are losing their cars, people are becoming homeless and stuff, and it is not pretty out there, and the need is just greater. The food bank lost funding, the Pima Council of Aging lost funding. So there's more and more people, and my senior group became bigger, so there's more and more people out there needing and seeking help. And I'm always asking for, we're not nonprofit. And one of the reasons that we're not nonprofit is because, one, I have a problem with authority, and two, I don't want to have a board, a group of
Hmm.
people telling me
Hmm.
who and who I can't help and when I can't help them. If I
Hmm.
see a need, I will fill that need. And it's as simple as that. No questions asked. I don't care if you have a driver's license. I don't care if you live on what side of town. I don't care if you make X amount of money. If you say you're hungry, there's no reason you should be.
And I definitely understand that nonprofit because I've looked at things
Hmm.
starting companies. I'm like, we can make this nonprofit. And the more I looked into it, I'm like, no, because it's mine. I want to be able to have the say so I can go where I want
Correct.
within it and
Correct.
not take the risk of it all being taken away from me because you've got
Yeah.
this passion and it's your passion
Correct.
and your say. So
Yeah. So I tell
definitely.
people all the time, listen, I'm gonna ask you for donations, but I can't. There's no tax credit behind it. It's listen, it's you loving what I do and sharing in my responsibility of being a decent human being.
Hmm.
That's all there
So
is to it.
it's a pure love donation. So if you can write that
Correct.
off.
Correct.
So you do the Festival of the Books. Are there other festivals that you show up at that people can find you at?
So we do the festival every year. We do the Festival of Books. We also do Iron Chef Tucson, the culinary experience. We do that. This year that's going to be July 18th, I think it is, at Desert Diamond in Sahuarita.
Mm.
They changed the location. And when people say Sahuarita, they think it's far, but it really isn't. It's about
Mm-mm.
20 minutes. It's
Yeah.
about 20 minutes, which is the same as going to the supermarket around here.
Everything's 20,
We're
30
gonna
minutes. Yeah.
Yep, yep. We're gonna be at. We also do the. We work with Ishkashida Refugee Network, and what we do with them is we teach the refugees how to use the local foods. Because if they don't know or recognize them, they chances are they won't accept them because they don't know how to use them or cook them. So we go and we do that and we teach them how to use the foods. But they also have a spring fair every year. That's April 18th this year and next weekend. And so
Mm.
they have all the international foods. They have the refugees. They showcase their artwork and their talents and stuff. So that's pretty cool. We're going to do that as well. Yeah, and other than that, we just do like pop-ups here and there, everywhere. Sometimes we get adventurous and come out on a Saturday morning and tell you we're going to be out front of our house, and people just come and hang out. Sometimes we do garden market. We have the market in the garden, so you can come and chill and hang out. You can harvest vegetables, whatever is available, harvest them and go take them with you. There's no charge for it or anything. Yeah.
I also read that or heard in one of your interviews, you do motivational speaking.
Yes, I do. Yes, I basically tell young people and women specifically that you don't need permission to do what you want to do or to be who you want to be. You already that. You're already that. You don't need anybody's permission. Just go ahead and do it.
Was that awesome?
So many quotes from you I'm writing down.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I'm going to enjoy going back through and
Yeah.
editing this and hearing you again. Doing all these things, you're so busy. And you and your wife, how do you balance it all? Do
You know
you?
what? I gotta tell you, right now, this has been the first time in all the 10 years we've been together that we've ever actually been apart like this. She's in nursing school, so she's
Hmm.
studying every day, pretty much all day. And when she's not studying, she's doing rounds now. So we see each other when it's time to go to bed, and we don't go to bed without each other. So and we put it in where we can fit it in. Like yesterday, I was joking that we had a hot date at the You Pull It car place. We went looking for car parts in the middle of the day, and and she's so hot with herself when she has tools. So I just stand and watch and make sure she makes sure I'm okay, and I just stand and watch. And that was our date. Hey, we went and got we went and got Circle K slush drinks afterwards, and that was our date. I'm like, look, it don't have to be fancy restaurant and all that. Spend time
Hmm.
together doing whatever it is that each other likes. That's what it was. So that was the hot date yesterday. And, we'll have some more hot dates of watching Lifetime movies and whatever, but she's studying most of the time. So right now, this is the most that we've been separate. And um, it's hard, but, we do what we have to do because she's becoming a better person. And, you know, and I would want that for her. I
Hmm.
think every person would want that for their partner, for them to be self-reliant and yeah, just a better person all around.
So, in addition to you guys feeding the community, she's also going into nursing. So
Yeah,
you guys are in the healing business too.
yes, that's us. Yep, and we talked about that, and I think she's going to do either wound care or geriatrics or both. But that's who we are.
I almost see another cookbook coming out of that one right
Yeah.
there.
Actually, I forgot to tell you about the one we did together. It's at what was the title again? I forgot. Quarantine with the Bakers, and it was everything we made throughout pandemic.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, and there was no rhyme or reason to this one. It was just everything we found ourselves making because it was what was available.
Oh, interesting.
the title is
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. So, so thinking about throughout your whole journey, thinking about your younger self, looking back, what would you say to her right now?
Don't change anything. I gotta tell you, listen, as a kid, and I'm the last of the entire crew. I didn't really have to do anything because, my brothers and sisters would do it, but they were also just brothers and sisters and mean,
Yes.
because that's what
How
brothers
many
and
did you
sisters
have?
do. So there's 11 of us total. There's five on my mother's side and six on my father's side. So, yeah, a whole shitload of us. And my mother would always say that, they're not your half siblings, they're your siblings. So, we all pretty much grew up together and hung out together and I can't complain about anything that happened to me in my in my childhood, I can say I've lived a full life because my mother has always encouraged us to do what we want to do. I think I mentioned to you one of the things that she would say to us was, if you're gonna do something, you be convicted in that moment that that's the absolute thing that you want to do. You know, when you do it, know that there are consequences. You don't know if there's a bad consequence or a good consequence, but know that there's one coming. But just be convinced in that moment that that's the right thing for you to do. And so everything I've done and I've taken on with that, with that in it, and that in mind. And my mom, she wasn't, the scholar, and she'd tell you. Now she could read the Bible backward and forward with every big word there was in it because that's who she was. But she would sit, even when doing homework, she would sit with us and say, I can't, well, baby girl, I can't help you, but I can sit here with you till you're done. And that's who she was. She'd sit with
Mhm.
us until we were done. And she's always been there and she's always encouraged us. So I can't complain about my childhood at all. And everything that I've done and every place that I've been has led me to where I am today. So I wouldn't change anything at all.
I love that. I've been hearing that
Yeah.
kind of response lately, and it's the first time I've been hearing that kind of response in all these years, and I just love it. Like, just tell them nothing, just keep going, because
Yeah.
we have our lives, and they don't always pan out the way we want, but they always work out, and they bring us where we need to be. Yeah.
I honestly believe that. You take some left turns and right turns, but that's what life is about. Disappointments and hurt and love and laughter and crying and all the good and bad together makes a complete circle. I don't think that we could be whole without all those changes in our lives.
Nice.
My daughter and I just had that conversation right before we came on here.
Yeah,
She's in Europe right now, and she's and she we were talking about it, and we are like, yeah, the even the painful stuff. Somehow when you can see yourself through it, and then you look back, and there was something there
yeah,
that
yeah,
then even added what you've mentioned, Alex, earlier. There's or maybe I probably read it somewhere. All these layers to you. You have
yep,
so many different things, and it just adds to that layer, the depth of who you are,
yeah.
and it just
Yeah, my mom was a pretty amazing person. I'm not saying that because, she's my mom, but she used to my mother used to talk to us in riddles. And we just kind of like, what are you talking about, lady? Like seriously. And just one day out the blue, something happened and it just like hit you like, oh, that's what she meant. And then from that moment forward, everything you do came back to something that she said that didn't make sense. And you're like, okay. So maybe she wasn't so crazy after all.
no, she was dropping nuggets of wisdom, just standing there.
The whole time, and you were just like not listening or whatever.
Yeah,
You just weren't getting it. So maybe it wasn't your time. I don't know. But
I think
yeah,
that's what it is. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
it is. Or you received the same thing for maybe someone else had to say it, and then they're like,
Um,
"Oh, I don't know." Because sometimes
it
that's
wasn't
what I
even
will.
that. You know what? It wasn't even that someone else saying picture yourself in a situation and you're trying to figure out how to get out of it.
Hmm.
And things come at you when you're trying to get out of a situation or even get into a situation.
Yeah,
And things come at you, and if you're as close to your mother as I was to my mother in some ways, all you hear is her voice, and the
yeah,
things that she used to say, well, you will hear them, and you think to yourself, gee, I wonder if that meant what this meant. And then the one thing that is meant for you in that moment just comes at you and you're like, oh,
yeah. Just
oh,
open to
okay,
it, because that's when
yeah,
the portal, I call it, is opened. Like
yes,
she dropped all these seeds,
yes, yes.
and then she just knew it's gonna sprout at the right moment
Yes,
for you to hear it
yes,
at the right time.
yes, ma'am.
Um, I know I would always even tell when I was with my kids, it's like I would always say, even if we did hear it from somebody, it's my voice behind it. It was just a messenger. It just
That's
came
why I
through
tell
that opening.
people
However, it
now.
needs to come through, it will be the words of the mother.
That's why I tell the kids that I mentor now. I said, when you hear me say, stop it, you just hear it in my voice and just pretend it's me saying it to you.
Yeah.
That a little side note on that one. I just actually just told a client about it. I don't know if you guys remember Bob Newhart back in the day,
Yep,
the
yep.
show.
Yeah.
There's an episode you can actually still find it on YouTube where he's talking. He's a counselor therapist. And he's talking to the client, and he's like, and the whole time he's like, just stop it. And she goes, but stop it. And that's when I hear stop it. That's actually what comes to mind is that. And I laugh and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stop it, Renee. Like so.
But
So
yeah, you were talking about the aura that you would feel with other people, and that's how you know whether or not helps you decipher whether or not you're going to cook for them.
Or even be around them.
And I could just say that that's what I felt. Your aura is just so
Oh,
huge.
thank you.
I mean, just you were very, I was kind of even almost taken aback of how welcoming, like complete strangers
Yes.
coming up to you about some podcast we were trying to do. And you were just so welcoming. So I could see how you have so many followers and just dedicated followers that really will come out and support you and just to be
Yeah.
around your aura and take that in. So
yeah,
Yeah, I
because
just try to be I just try to be a good human being, you know. It doesn't take anything to do that.
it was interesting just standing there because Lena's going
yeah.
around looking at all the food. I'm back there just hanging out, talking to you, and it felt I don't know if safe is quite the it was comforting the space.
It was
Yeah.
like going into my grandma's, like, not to call you grandma, but it was
I
my
get it.
grandmother's kitchen was. I come from grandma. I'm from an island also. Part of me
Hmm.
is in Okinawa, and both, but my grandmother here in the United States, they were both, I call them kindred sisters because they were two different parts of the world, but their attitude and their values and their heart is the
Yeah.
same. And
Yeah.
that was they never locked their doors. Anybody was able to come in. And kitchen was the gathering place.
Yes. Always.
Hmm.
And that's what it felt. It was felt very something I've been like I've missed,
Yeah.
I've been missing them a lot lately. And that's what I felt like. I just
Oh.
wandered into your kitchen
Well, I'm
and
glad I
your
could do that
tent.
for you. Look, even the setup is intentional. If you notice when you walk to other people's booths, there's just a table at the front and you got to reach over to them. In my booth,
Yeah.
you have a place where you can actually step into.
I actually get that because as a therapist, I've
Yeah.
had offices that they put the desk right in the middle. I'm like, no, I don't want that. As a counselor, I don't want a desk between me and my client. And
Correct.
like, I always move it to open up that space.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
totally understand that. Totally saw
Yes.
that. All right, we can find you at Instagram and Facebook at the Thai Kitchen, TIE, and
Correct.
then what other social media are you on besides Instagram, IG, and Facebook?
Substack, Blue Sky.
Blue Sky. Okay,
Yes.
that's a new one too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Substack, Blue Sky. We got rid of X because you know why.
Yeah, that's
And
why Blue Sky came into being because
yes. So pretty much any platform that there is, we're on it unless it's, you know, affiliated with you know who shall not be named.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
I could totally see you having a podcast too, by the way.
yeah. I don't know where you would squeeze that in, but
Just words of wisdom, like and just that comforting. I
or
could just
maybe
see that.
another book about I don't know.
We're gonna do hiding in plain sight.
Oh,
Oh,
interesting title. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. All right.
appropriate
Well,
too at the same time.
we will
Yeah,
definitely
I
have
see
all
it.
the information
Yeah.
in the show notes.
Yes.
And
And I know, yes. And yeah, the only thing you do not have is a website. It's everything
Well, there's a
or
website title, but it leads you back to our Facebook page. We
yeah.
stay on Facebook more because a lot of that's where our older people are.
mhm.
Okay.
So that's where we stay more, but we're on all the other platforms, pitting around, messing around, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And you'll have to
Well,
come by
again,
and see the garden.
I was just going to say
that's what
that.
I
I
was
want to
going to
see it.
ask. See,
Yes,
Renee,
you have to
sometime
come by
Renee.
and see
Yes.
the
So we will be reaching back out.
Yeah, come
I
by,
would
see the
love to
garden, sit down, I'll make you lunch or something.
Be
taking up
great.
on you. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially me. When you invite, I show up. So
You better show up hungry too.
oh, that's not a problem. But thank you again, Chef
Yes.
Oh, thank
Alex,
you for inviting
for
me.
accepting our invite. It was just absolute lovely to have you on. I felt like I was on a first date or something. Like, you get so excited to meet somebody. was like, "Ooh, what
Oh,
is
I
this
won't bite.
feeling?"
I promise. I'm a good egg. I'm a good egg.
No, it's a good vibe. It's one of those like
Yeah,
you're just so excited to that the date came. So
yeah.
Yeah,
I
because like,
appreciate y'all.
yeah, we are just like we are excited because as soon as after we met you the whole time we were like almost obsessed. It's
we
like
were
we got to get her
giggly
on.
like it was
I'm sorry I took so long. There was just a whole lot going on, man.
no,
Uh,
no,
yeah,
that's
it's
it's
all
not.
good.
Yeah, we know how busy you are, and I was like, I don't
Yeah,
know if you could squeeze us in. So it was it's absolute delight. Thank you so
yeah.
much.
I
Yes,
appreciate y'all.
such a pleasure having you on.
Yeah. And we will take you up on that. I think you gained two
Yes,
new followers here. So
there you go.
yeah.
All right, y'all.
All right.
All
All right.
right. You take care.
I
Thanks.
would stay longer with you, but I gotta go deliver.
No, I know you got a delivery coming. Okay.
All
All right.
right.
Thank you.
All right, talk to you
Bye,
soon.
Chef.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.